Hey homeschoolers, I'm Melissa Webb, former full-time classroom teacher and homeschool mom turned full-time business CEO and encourager to homeschool families everywhere. Yes, I want to give you sound, educational, practical tips and advice, at the same time making sure that you're enjoying the family journey that you are on. So if you are looking for a place to be encouraged and inspired, you have found the perfect podcast. Homeschooling is a work of heart is truly the perfect place to start. So welcome. Let's jump in. Well, hello, friend. This week I have a fun, eye-opening family activity to offer you. Hope you're excited. Now, first I need to ask you, what is one thing that you have always wanted? I know for some of you, this answer is going to quickly arrive, but for others of you, you may need a moment to think about it, and that is fine. At the time of this recording, we are currently in the season of, Mom, Dad, I want this, and can I have that? And that had me think about this activity that I did years ago that brought about awareness and empowerment in a way that has always stayed with me. And so often when I've experienced these things, I've thought, gosh, I wish that I would have had that experience when I was younger. I've had a few of you loyal listeners share things like, wow, where were you 10 years ago when I could have really used all of this advice and suggestions? And all I can say is the timing is what the timing is. That's reality. But because this happened to me and because it left such an impression, I did want to share it with you. I've actually done this with a couple of my classes, and we've really gotten into some great discussions. So when I did this years ago, we were asked to list 10 things on a piece of paper that we always wanted. Simple, right? So you can do this too with your family. Maybe after dinner, one day this week or over the weekend, maybe with a fire glowing, light music in the background, cozy blankets. I want you to give everyone in the family a piece of paper and a pen. And you're just going to ask everyone, including yourself, to list 10 things you've always wanted. Now, when I did this activity, I don't remember everything I listed, but I do remember that I listed things like, a brand new car, because I always purchased used vehicles in the past. I remember I also wrote healthy kids. Don't we all want that? But my point is that the things that you list can be tangible things, but they don't have to be tangible things, okay? What comes to your mind? The first 10 things, list them. Now, after our lists were completed, we were then asked to go back and look at that list and underline or circle or highlight whatever, any items that were on that list that we already had. We already had them. And if there weren't very many that we already had, we were then directed to list 10 more things that we did already have, things that we once wanted and we had achieved in getting them. Now, this was such a powerful, eye-opening way for me to fall deeply into gratitude. Like, it hit hard, because what I realized is rather than always chasing the next thing, which is what I feel society is encouraging us to do, I felt such joy realizing how much I used to want that I had already achieved, and it filled me to the brim. So these are activities that are so empowering, and why not start early with our children? Because I will tell you, there's so much research that backs me up on this. I have shared this in previous podcasts about the importance of making sure that our kids learn to spot what is already good in their lives. The children who learn to do that build a stronger internal baseline, I'd say, of well-being. And they're less dependent on possessions. They're less dependent on status. They aren't comparing themselves to feel better about themselves. There's a psychologist, he's also a professor at UC Davis, Robert Emmons. He's actually one of the leading researchers on the topic of gratitude. And he had found that gratitude practices improve emotional resilience as well as reduce symptoms of depression. It's these people who have a sense of enough that is internal. They're not reliant on more external things that make them feel enough from the outside world. That is such an important lesson for us to be teaching to our kids, starting young. As well, gratitude changes the brain. You probably know this. There's neuroscience that now shows that focusing on what's good in our lives activates the prefrontal cortex, which I've talked about a million times. That's where optimism sits, but that's also where planning and problem solving is. In other words, since gratitude changes the brain, we know now that it's good for us. You need your vitamin G, gratitude, every day. Kids who are growing up grounded in that kind of gratitude, they feel like their self-worth is not tied to what they own or what they possess or what they have. And this, in the long run, also makes them less vulnerable to peer pressure, also to impulsive spending, to consumerism, even social comparison. So I want you just to think about that. And as you go through this activity with your children, remember, this is not to judge them or to be used in a negative way at all. It's awareness. That's it. It's just awareness. Because what we are hoping to get to is a point where we hear our children say, "Oh my gosh, Mom, look at my list. I already have so much of what I once wanted." I mean, you may have a kiddo who makes the list and then does 10 more things of what they already have that they used to want. And they could have that epiphany, that aha moment where they're like, "Mom, look, my list of what I've wanted and I already have is so much longer than what I want right now." Wouldn't that be a great teaching moment? That kind of appreciation. Think of the kind of adults those types of children are going to turn into. These are the people who value experiences. They value people. And they value purpose even over stuff, over shiny objects. A grateful heart is a source of strength. And this time of year just felt like the perfect time to put out this short little podcast, because what I really want you to do is to take the time to prep for this activity. Get things together. Make it fun. Make hot cocoa. Do cute paper. Make it fun. Make it something that the whole family does together. It's a great family opportunity and activity. I hope that during this time where we can really focus in on being content in all circumstances and notice the blessings that are right in front of us, that we realize that abundance is about awareness, not acquisition. I'll say that again. Abundance is about awareness, not acquisition. Now, there's nothing wrong with wanting things. I still want things. You want things. We all want things. We're human. And our goal is not to raise perfect, selfless children. Good luck with that. They're humans too. But what we can offer them is reflection, openness, sharing what was on our list as well as asking what was on their list, building up that awareness, being vulnerable and genuine. I really highly encourage you this week to try this activity. Please do. I would love it, especially if you would share one thing that came out of it. You can find me obviously on Instagram or Facebook at Right On Web, or you can always come to my website. There's a contact page. Reach out. I would absolutely love to hear about your experience. And even on this podcast, there's a spot at the top that says you can text us. So text me just the one thing that came out of this activity. You inspire me. So I would love to hear from you. I am wishing you, all of you, a life filled with so many things that you've always wanted and so many things that you already have. Right on. Well, thanks so much for tuning in and listening this week. Hey, if this was something that you found valuable, don't forget you want to subscribe or follow so that every time a new episode is dropped, you'll be the first to know. And hey, before you go, if you are looking to get some of this academic writing under your belt and outsourced so that it's one less thing, freeing you up to enjoy more time with your family, hey, you're going to want to head over to writeonweb.com to see what kinds of resources and materials I have available for you. I will look forward to seeing you there, and I will look forward to seeing you here in our next episode. Right on.